Experienced riders know that true freedom isn't reckless speed, but that rare harmony of comfort, control, and style. Over the next few minutes, you'll discover 10 motorcycles arriving in 2025 and 2026, built for those who value the ride itself as much as the road ahead. Stick around because missing this list could cost you your next dream bike. Number 10, the 2026 KTM 690 Enduro R. If you think a serious dual sport has to be a bone shaker, KTM clearly disagrees. The latest 690 Enduro R brings the dirt-eating attitude the brand is famous for, but tones down the aches and rattles that can wear down older riders on long days. Under the tank, KTM's LC4 single-cylinder has been heavily reworked, with roughly half its parts either redesigned or upgraded. A single oil pump cuts friction, torque climbs past the old 54 pound-feet mark, and new rubber engine mounts keep the thump without the buzz. That means smoother, stronger pull without having to wring its neck. Perfect when you want control and confidence instead of wrestling matches. The chassis is stiffer for sharper handling. The ergonomics and bodywork have been shaped for easier movement. And the seat, just over 35 inches high, strikes a balance between off-road clearance and all-day comfort. Add in modern helpers like cornering ABS, traction control, and 3 selectable ride modes, street, sport, and off-road, and you get a machine that adapts as quickly as the terrain changes. KTM has yet to reveal official pricing for the 2026 version. For context, the 2024 model carried a US MSRP of about $12,999, often selling for less with dealer incentives. Given the upgrades, expect the new figure to land modestly higher, but still short of the eye-watering tags on many big-bore adventure machines. The 690 Enduro R earns its spot for mastering a tricky balance, hardcore off-road chops without punishing the rider over long days. But while it's comfortable for a dirt-focused machine, it's still a bike that feels most at home when the pavement ends. The model above it shifts that comfort-first mindset onto a platform built for devouring tarmac and light touring alike, offering a smoother highway demeanor and more forgiving ergonomics right out of the gate. Number 9, Suzuki GSX-8T and GSX-8TT. Some bikes scream for attention, others just nod knowingly, and these two are firmly in the second camp. The GSX-8T and its sportier sibling, the GSX-8TT, takes Suzuki's modern parallel twin platform and wrap it in a package that feels like the golden age of motorcycling never really ended. Both run Suzuki's 776 cubic centimeter parallel twin, tuned for a buttery linear spread of power. You get just over 80 horsepower, a healthy 57 pound-feet of torque, and the kind of mid-range that makes passing traffic a stress-free flick of the wrist. A 270-degree crank and Suzuki's cross-balancer setup mean minimal vibes and maximum comfort, a real perk if your wrists and shoulders have seen a few decades of riding. Creature comforts are plentiful. A bi-directional quick shifter, multiple traction control settings, 3 riding modes, and ABS all come standard. The TT dresses things up with a retro headlight, cowl, undercowl, and a racier seat, while the T keeps it clean and classic with an easy 32-inch seat, height, and neutral ergonomics. Pricing hovers just above $10,000 and $11,000 respectively, enough to feel premium without crossing into second mortgage territory, and they still undercut rivals like Yamaha's retro triples while bringing a sharper mix of comfort tech and old school style. Smooth, stylish, and just the right amount of spirited, these Suzukis prove that classic looks and modern rideability can live happily in the same garage. You know, putting this list together feels a lot like riding into uncharted territory. There's that thrill of discovery, the quiet hum of the engine, and the sense you're part of something bigger than yourself. If you've been riding with us this far, hit that like button and subscribe so we can keep chasing the next horizon together. Think of the GSX 8T and TT as the calm, confident old friends who always know the best scenic routes. They're smooth, dependable, and never in a rush to prove anything. But sometimes you meet someone at the same table who tells the same great stories and plays the guitar better. That's what happens when you trade the Suzuki's twin for the bike ahead's triple. Same friendly nature, but with more soul, more voice, and just a hint of mischief. Number 8, the 2026 Triumph, Trident 660 Triple Special Edition. If the Suzuki twins are all about understated charm, Triumph's latest Trident Special is anything but shy. The Triple Special Edition takes the already well-loved 660 platform and dresses it in a livery inspired by Slippery Sam, Triumph's legendary Isle of Man TT winner. Sapphire black paint, cobalt blue highlights, and Diablo red accents make it pop from every angle, while matching red wheels, a color-matched fly screen, and an aluminum belly pan bring the full cafe racer swagger. Under the flash is a package designed for real-world riding. The liquid-cooled triple makes an even 80 horsepower and 47 pound-feet of torque, a sweet spot that delivers smooth pull through the revs without demanding a death grip on the bars. At just under 32 inches, the seat is easy to swing a leg over, and the neutral, upright riding position keeps your back and shoulders happy mile after mile. Technology is well thought out. Lean-sensitive ABS and traction control, a quick shifter for clutchless shifts, 3 riding modes including a sport setting, and cruise control for highway ease. Showa suspension and Michelin road, 5 tires rounded out with planted handling and all-weather grip. Starting at around $8,700, it offers a lot of pedigree and polish for the price. For older riders who still want a bike with a little racing blood in its veins, this is proof that style and sensibility can share the same seat. The Trident Triple Special Edition is like a tailored cafe jacket. Sharp, stylish, and built to move gracefully through the city or carve up a winding back road. But swap that jacket for a perfectly cut leather coat with reinforced armor, and suddenly you're not just strolling, you're commanding the room. That's the leap from Triumph's middleweight finesse to the bike ahead's muscle cruiser presence. More torque, more authority, and a comfort game that matches its raw power, which brings us to our next pick. Number 7, Ducati XDiavel V4. Some bikes whisper luxury. This one growls it through a set of exhaust pipes that could wake the neighbors 2 streets over. The XDiavel V4 isn't just a cruiser with Italian flair. It's Ducati taking the comfort older riders demand and fusing it with the adrenaline rush they refuse to give up. At its heart beats a 1,158 cubic centimeter V4 Gran Turismo engine, straight from Ducati's MotoGP bag of tricks. That means 168 horsepower at 10,750 RPM and 93 pound-feet of torque at 7,500 RPM. That's enough to sling you from 0 to 60 in under 3 seconds. Yet thanks to a clever cylinder deactivation system, it can also sip fuel and purr smoothly when you're just cruising the boulevard. Ducati clearly had comfort in mind here. A 30.3-inch seat height and feet-forward riding stance make for a relaxed posture on long rides, while the monocoque aluminum frame and fully adjustable suspension soak up rough pavement without turning your spine into a tuning fork. It's the kind of setup that lets you roll all day and still feel like grabbing dinner when you get there. The electronic suite reads like a tech lover's wish list: sport, touring, urban, and wet ride modes, cornering abs, traction and wheelie control, cruise control, and the Ducati quick shift for buttery smooth gear changes. For riders who have nothing left to prove, but still like to embarrass the occasional sport bike at a stoplight, it's a dream package. At around $29,000, the XDiavel V4 isn't cheap, but it feels like a cruiser, handles like a sport bike, and pampers like a tour. For seasoned riders who still crave a rush, but refuse to sacrifice comfort, this Ducati doesn't just check boxes, it redraws the whole list. The XDiavel V4 is the definition of Italian muscle. All sculpted lines, precision engineering, and a flair for speed that's as much art as it is performance. But cross the Atlantic and the conversation changes. In America, cruiser muscle wears a different uniform: broad fairings, deep saddles, and an engine note that feels like a heartbeat through the highway. The bike ahead takes that heritage, infuses it with modern tech and touring manners, and delivers a kind of long-haul authority that's every bit as commanding. Number 6, Indian Chieftain Power Plus Limited. Some riders want comfort, some want muscle. The Chieftain Power Plus Limited looks at both camps and says, why not have it all? It is unmistakably American, big, bold, and built for the kind of cross-country rides where you measure distance in time zones, not miles. The beating heart here is Indian's liquid-cooled Power Plus 112 cubic inch V-twin. That's 1,834 cubic centimeters for those counting, pushing out 126 horsepower horsepower and a stump-pulling 133 pound-feet of torque at just 3,600 RPM. That's championship-winning DNA, straight from Indian's 2024 Moto America King of the Baggers title run. It launches hard, pulls forever, and thanks to rear cylinder deactivation, stays cool and calm when you're stuck at a red light. Older riders will especially appreciate the tech baked into this machine. We're talking blind spot warning, tailgate warning, rear collision warning, bike hold control, and electronically linked brakes. The Smart Lean system adds lean-sensitive ABS and traction control, which means the bike has your back, whether you're carving sweepers or dodging a surprise gravel patch. Throw in an adjustable push-button windshield, remote locking saddlebags, cruise control, in 3 ride modes, Tour, Standard, and Sport, and you've got a cruiser that adapts to your mood in the road. The cockpit is pure touring luxury, a low 26.5-inch seat height, intuitive controls, and a 7-inch ride command display with turn-by-turn navigation, Bluetooth, and Apple CarPlay. It's the kind of setup that makes the longest day in the saddle feel a little too short. At roughly $30,500, the Chieftain Power Plus Limited proves you can have old-school presence with new-school brains and still ride in total comfort. It is like a tailored 3-piece suit, steeped in tradition, loaded with subtle details, and built to make a statement every time you roll up. But sometimes you swap that suit for a first-class travel outfit, still sharp, but designed to keep you perfectly comfortable on the longest journeys imaginable. That's the shift from American bagger bravado to the bike ahead's Japanese mastery of long-distance touring. Sleeker, more refined, and engineered to make crossing an entire continent feel like an afternoon ride. Number 5, Honda Goldwing DCT Tour. Some motorcycles are built for weekend escapes. This one is built to divorce states. The Goldwing name has been a byword for cross-country comfort for decades, and in 2025, Honda has refined it into something almost absurdly capable for long-haul riders who want every mile to feel like the first. Underneath the bodywork sits an 1,833 cubic centimeter flat-six engine, a liquid-cooled masterpiece pushing 125 horsepower and 125 pound-feet of torque. Smooth? Absolutely. Effortless? Completely. And paired with Honda's 7-speed dual-clutch transmission, you can choose between full auto ease or fingertip manual shifts without ever touching a clutch lever. Hill start assist and creep mode mean heavy traffic and steep driveways are no longer a chore. For older riders, the appeal is simple: comfort without compromise. The 29.3-inch seat height is easy to manage, while the double wishbone front suspension swallows road imperfections with a shrug. Heated seats, an adjustable electric windscreen, and weather-friendly ergonomics make cold mornings and long days far less taxing. The tech suite is pure luxury: a 7-inch color display with Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, cornering ABS, traction control, adaptive LED lighting, and even blind spot detection on certain trims. Add 61 liters of trunk space plus saddlebags, and you can pack for weeks without skimping. Starting around $29,700, the Goldwing DCT Tour is proof that age doesn't mean slowing down. It just means riding smarter, further, and in far greater comfort. The Goldwing DCT Tour is the culmination of decades of refinement, the product of an unbroken lineage that spent generations perfecting the art of long-distance travel. But history isn't just about polishing what already exists. Sometimes it's about rewriting the script entirely. The bike ahead carries one of America's most iconic names, yet it sheds the heavyweight image in favor of something leaner, nimbler, and aimed at riders who never thought a Harley could fit their life. Number 4, the Harley-Davidson Sprint. For decades, Harley-Davidson has been the king of big iron, heavyweight cruisers with more chrome than a 1950s diner. But the Sprint is a different animal. Coming in 2026, it ditches bulk for agility, trims the price tag to under $6,000, and delivers that Harley soul in a package that doesn't demand a powerlifter's legs to move it around the garage. Under the tank, you'll find a 500 cubic centimeter AIR and oil-cooled parallel twin, putting out roughly 48 horsepower and about 33 pound-feet of torque. That's plenty for city runs, relaxed back roads, and weekend escapes without crossing into hang-on-for-dear-life territory. At under 420 pounds, it's nearly featherweight by Harley standards, which makes low-speed handling and parking lot maneuvers a breeze. The ergonomics are built for comfort. A 31-inch 12-inch seat height, gently rear-set pegs, and low, easy-reach bars keep your posture natural. Standard ABS and traction control add a layer of security that older riders will appreciate on unpredictable pavement. Visually, it hits the sweet spot between nostalgia and now. Round LED headlight, twin mufflers with a gentle Harley rumble, and clean lines that still say American Cruiser without the bulk. A simple digital display keeps the info clear and uncluttered. The Sprint is Harley's way of saying you don't have to go big to ride bold. It proves you can strip away weight and price without stripping out character. A refreshing reminder that not every cruiser has to be a hulking beast, but sometimes the ride calls for more than a quick dash. Sometimes the horizon is hundreds of miles away. The sun is setting in your mirrors, and you need a machine that doesn't just carry you, it carries your whole world with you. That's when you trade the streetlight shuffle for a highway epic, and the next bike is built for exactly that kind of journey. Number 3, Kawasaki Vulcan 1700 Voyager 2025. Kawasaki has spent decades refining long-haul comfort, and this new Voyager continues that legacy with grace and power. It's more than a touring machine, it's a plush highway companion wrapped in classic V-twin charm. At heart is a robust 1,752 cubic centimeter engine that delivers a generous 107 pound-feet of torque. Open that throttle, and you're greeted with a steady, unhurried surge makes merging onto the interstate feel whisper smooth. You get every touring essential: frame-mounted fairing, tall windscreen, integrated saddlebags, and a lockable tail trunk, all crafted for long-day comfort. Plush, wide seats for rider and passenger, electronic cruise control, and a built-in audio system transform even a gas station break into a moment of luxury and ease. The suspension softens potholes and road chatter, while the fairing shields you from wind fatigue. Cargo space is plentiful. You can pack 2 helmets, gear, and essentials for a multi-day run without a squeeze. Glossy chrome details and flowing lines give the Voyager eye appeal that stops traffic, and Kawasaki's reputation for rock-solid reliability means fewer worries and more open-road smiles. Plus, with their expansive dealer network across the United States, help is never far when miles come between towns. In terms of price, this flagship model comes with a manufacturer's suggested retail price of $20,119 US. Actual dealer pricing varies. Current listings show models ranging from about $17,433 to $20,119, with the average settling near $18,122. The Voyager isn't about chasing lap records or carving turns. It's about settling in, letting your shoulders drop, and turning cross-country distance into a trusted alley. That's why it is a rolling monument to the golden age of the open road, a chrome and comfort time capsule that turns every mile into slow-breathing, steady-paced meditation. But as the Voyager hums along like a trusted old friend, the motorcycle world is hurtling toward a different kind of future, one where the rumble of pistons is replaced by the silent punch of electrons, and where speed arrives not with a roar, but with the sudden, effortless rush of a warp jump. And our next bike? It's the machine that makes that leap feel like second nature. Number 2, Zero SRF. If Honda's new electric bike is a gentle handshake into the battery-powered world, the Zero SRF is more like a firm grip and a confident nod. This is Zero's flagship street fighter, packing a Z-Force 7510 motor and a 17.3 kilowatt-hour battery that dishes out 111 horsepower and a massive 140 pound-feet of torque. Translation: instant, effortless acceleration without the fuss of shifting. A huge win for riders who value simplicity along with speed. Despite tipping the scales at about 500 pounds, the weight sits low thanks to clever battery placement, giving it a planted, stable feel in corners and parking lots alike. Range tops out around 176 miles in the city, and the onboard 6.6 kilowatt charger can refill the pack in under 3 hours, making it practical for real-world use. Comfort hasn't been forgotten. Adjustable Showa suspension, Pirelli Diablo Rosso, 3 tires, and Bosch stability control create a smooth, predictable ride that inspires confidence. Multiple ride modes: rain, eco, standard, sport, and canyon let you fine-tune the bike's personality to your comfort in the road ahead. At just over $20,000, it's a premium machine, but one that delivers premium rewards: near-silent performance, cutting-edge safety, and a design that turns heads at every stoplight. The Zero SR/F is a revelation, a lightning bolt in a world still waking up to electric power. It shreds silence with blistering torque and tech that reads like a sci-fi novel. But for those who believe that the soul of a motorcycle beats in the roar of a legendary engine, the clutch of precision engineering, and the unmatched thrill of the open throttle, the final bike on our list is nothing short of a masterpiece. It's a breathtaking fusion of brutal power, razor-sharp handling, and refined comfort that commands respect from every angle. The ultimate prize that redefines what a motorcycle can be. Prepare yourself, because this is the one that truly sets the standard for all the rest. Number 1. The BMW R1300R. Closing out our list is a motorcycle that refuses to make you choose between excitement and ease. BMW's R1300R is the next evolution of their legendary Boxer twin platform, pairing a 1,300 cubic centimeter liquid-cooled engine with 145 horsepower and a stout 110 pound-feet of torque. The result? Effortless acceleration that's lively enough for spirited rides, yet smooth and predictable for long-distance touring. The reworked motor is lighter and more compact than before, sitting in a chassis tuned for agile handling. This makes it feel far less intimidating than the spec sheet suggests, a welcome trait for riders who want precision without the wrestling match. BMW clearly had comfort in mind. The adjustable seat height, optional comfort bars, and ergonomic cockpit let you tailor the riding position from slightly sporty to relaxed and upright. With fuel economy close to 59 miles per gallon and a tank holding just over 4.5 gallons, you can stretch rides to around 220 miles between stops. Technology rounds out the package. Dynamic traction control, integral ABS Pro, multiple ride modes, and optional radar-assisted cruise control make every mile more secure. It's a premium bike starting near $16,595, but it delivers a premium experience in every way. For older riders wanting a machine that thrills without punishing, the R1300R is the ultimate statement piece, the perfect finale to our countdown. That's the last stop for today's ride, but the road doesn't end here. Right there on your screen is the next journey waiting for you, packed with stories and machines you won't forget. Click it and let's keep rolling. And don't forget to subscribe so you're always riding with us.